Hey everyone, thanks for coming tonight. It's good to see you all. Chat is moving. I see A1 Guitars and Gaming. Come to Japan, Dan. Don't forget to subscribe to him. Courtney, and who else was in here? We've got Countryside Limbo, Molly, and I can't read that name. All I can think is Hyakume something something. Sounds like an anime name. Anyway. Yep, but he knows me, so that means I know you, but I can't read your name. Anyway, thanks for coming, guys. Today I'm starting a new series based on this little book here. I can't actually show anything inside of it, and I probably won't even use the example sentences because, copyrights and stuff, but I'm going to be using my own example sentences and going through the whole book, every single lesson, because I do like the books, actually. Especially the newer versions, they give a lot of information like, excuse me, hold on. This is causing some, anyway. It gives some information that most textbooks wouldn't give, like, for example, when you wouldn't use certain things. Like, I was reading through it today, and it gave a very good explanation on when you wouldn't use anata, which means you. A lot of people, especially beginning learners, use it way too frequently, and it sounds really awkward. So there are some really good tidbits in this book, but the parts I don't like about it are the grammar explanations. They can get really confusing, and I don't like the choices they made in the way they introduced conjugation. So I plan on introducing it a little bit differently, but still moving through the book step by step so that you can follow along, and we can learn lots together. And eventually I'll move on to book 2, and then I have an advanced textbook that I used when I was learning Japanese that I want to introduce to you guys, and hopefully we can all get even better at Japanese together. So, before we start, I want to introduce something. This is a gift from Yuki's family. Check these things out. Oh my goodness. These are like $30 grapes. $25? This is a bunch of grapes for like $25, and they're amazing. Here you go. Oh my goodness. So good. I saw recently on Twitter, by the way, follow me there if you haven't yet. There's a link down in the description. Someone was saying that they tried like 500 yen grapes and $30 grapes or 3,000 yen grapes, and they basically tasted the same. I don't think I agree with that. These are way better. And a limited edition Ebis. Anyway. If nobody has any questions, I'm going to do all the learning. All right. In the 15 years I have used Japanese, I hardly use anata, says Dan. Yeah. I use it from time to time, but in almost every situation I would have used it in the past, it just feels awkward now. You generally want to use someone's name or nothing at all. So anyway, Suguru. Andy, that's Yuki's sister's husband. Suguru, he was in which video? Her brother-in-law, right. That's a word. Brother-in-law. So he was in the Nagashi Somen video. Go watch that if you haven't. All right. Doesn't the Japanese language allow you to admit the word for you? Yes, you can admit it almost all the time. So you can admit the word for me or I, so like ore or watashi. You almost never need to use that. I still use it sometimes, and anata too, you pretty much never need to use it. Sometimes you can use it though. I just answered that question. Oh. Yeah, so yes, you can almost always admit it, but there are some times when I like to use it. It can be a preference thing. But anyway, let's go ahead and jump right into the first lesson. I've done a video on this, so there's going to be a lot of information you may have seen if you've already watched that. But I'll try and go into some more details on each of the, greetings and whatnot. So let's see if I can make this show up pretty. Lesson Luma wipe, and let's see if you can see that. I'll say yes. So just jumping right into the vocabulary, we have good morning. So I know it's morning time for Countryside Limbo and for Courtney. I'm not sure about you, A1 Guitars. I'm not sure where you are in the world, but I think it's morning over there. So just good morning, like to a friend or whatever. So basically what I'd say to you guys is ohayo. So ohayo. You can extend that ooh if you want. Ohayo, says Yuki. Generally if I'm talking to family, friends, if I see them when I get up in the morning, it's just ohayo, hayo. You can even take out the o if you want. A lot of people just say hayo, but yeah. So that's just good morning. If you if you add gozaimasu, which we'll go over a little bit later too, if you add that, it's the more polite greeting. It's something you'll say to people you're not really familiar with, or people you've just met, or people you're passing on the street. Often when I'm biking to work, I'll pass like older people out walking early in the morning, and I'll say ohayo gozaimasu, but not that stiff. It's just ohayo gozaimasu, ohayo gozaimasu. You just sort of say it quickly. You don't have to say it super formally, but it is polite to say ohayo gozaimasu. Yeah, and when you go to work, when you walk in, you're generally going to say ohayo gozaimasu. So when I get to work, I have a principal for the kindergarten, which is called encho sensei. So en is basically kindergarten, yochien. So he's called encho sensei. So when I go into the office in the morning, I say encho sensei gata ohayo gozaimasu. So that's principal and teachers, good morning. You don't have to be that formal, but I started saying it that way for practice when I started working there, and it was good. Os, yeah, that's a good one too. Os, when I go hiking in Japan, I often go to a place called Kamikochi, which has a lot of famous mountains. It's got the 3rd and 5th tallest peak. In Japan, the tallest is, of course, Fuji, but the 3rd tallest is Yarigatake, I think. Or no. The 3rd tallest is Hotakadake, and the 5th tallest is Yarigatake. They're both very famous. So in the summer, many people are hiking there. And every single person you pass will say hello or good morning. But generally, hikers just say os. Os. Every single person you pass. Os. 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 Konnichiwa. Os. Just like that. Just every single person. Hikers are so friendly. That's also a very common greeting for baseball players in high school. Yeah, so anyway, good morning, ohayo gozaimasu, the more polite good morning, and as Dan said, os, which is just, hey, yo, kind of like yo, yeah. Anyway, hello or good day. You're generally not going to use this too early in the morning, but if you've been awake for a couple hours, even like sometime after 10, I'd say, even after 9, a lot of people will start saying, konnichiwa, konnichiwa. Yuki, how about you say konnichiwa? Konnichiwa 言ってみて。Konnichiwa. Yep, that's it. At A1 Guitars and Gaming, you're getting rain? Send some to Georgia. Oh, is it dry over there? It's pretty dry over here too. Rained a little bit yesterday, but today was my sports day at my school, so I was happy it didn't rain. It was a rough day, but still. Anyway, konnichiwa, you can basically use that a couple hours after you wake up to, 4 or 5 in the evening. It's sort of a feeling type of thing. If it's starting to get dark, you're generally not going to say konnichiwa because it means good day or good afternoon. Instead, you'll say konbanwa, konbanwa. And that n, the second n, if you look here, we've got konbanwa. You can sort of blend that into the ba. So konbanwa, like it sort of sounds more like a m for most people that I hear using it. So that's good evening. So, any questions so far? It's pretty straightforward stuff. I think a lot of you already know these ones. But, moving on. Sayonara. Now, this is one that the book actually covers fairly well. Sayonara, I think everyone knows that, even if you've never tried to learn Japanese in your entire life. Everyone in the world seems to know sayonara. And they know it as meaning goodbye. But it's a lot more formal than goodbye. And it's almost never used. There's some very specific situations in day-to-day life that it may be used. And generally it's not when you're saying goodbye to someone you know. どめきまことだよ。あ、まこと。なるほど。It's not his name. Okay. Good to see you. Anyway, so sayonara is used basically just by students who are saying goodbye to their teachers every single day at the end of class. So my class is actually an immersion class, so we say it in English. But when the kids go outside to like get dropped off to their parents, they'll do an aisatsu or greetings, and that is sensei sayonara, minasan sayonara. And I think they do that in other schools as well. And that's like the only time people actually use sayonara. The other times are when you think you're not going to see someone for a very long time, like until your life changes completely. Like I'm going to get married and have kids or something, and I won't see you till after that type of farewell. If you're going to see someone the next day, like after work, or if you're going to even see them in like a month or two, you're not going to say sayonara. You're going to say some other things, like if you see down below, I've got ja mata. Ja mata じゃなくて ja mata ne, which is just later. Ja mata ne. Or, yeah, something like that. Mata ne, or, what's another good one? That one's later. Yeah, so something like that. Or ja ne, that's fine too. Just ja ne. That's fine. When you're saying goodbye. So, save the sayonara. Moving on to good night. It's evening for us, and I'll be going to sleep soon because I'm exhausted. I've been up since 5 o'clock. To friends, family, people you know pretty well, you just say oyasumi. Oyasumi. So that's an easy one. You can add nasai, which is like the command for like kids almost. You say, it's oyasumi nasai. So it's like go to bed basically, but it's a polite good night. Another example of when you would use nasai is like tabe nasai, which is taberu is to eat. And if you change it to nasai form, it's like eat please or eat. Especially if you're saying to kids, tabe nasai. You can be a little bit more, rough with it. But yeah, oyasumi nasai is the polite good night. And then I just covered ja mata or ja mata ne. And then the next one is the goodbye you would say when leaving work, which is 失礼します, or when you're getting off the phone. What is it? Sorry. 実礼します. Oh, thank you. Sorry about that, guys. I made a mistake again. I seem to do that a lot lately. Anyway, 失礼します. That's when you're saying goodbye after work. So when you're about to leave the office, every day when I'm about to leave the office, because I generally leave before the Japanese teachers, I say お先に失礼します or just 失礼します. お先に means first, like, or before you. So it means 失礼します is just like being rude. So it's like sort of apologizing for leaving early. That's basically what it is. You basically, it doesn't feel that way, but the actual language you're using is, I'm sorry that I'm leaving before you. But that's what you say. お先に失礼します. You also say 失礼します when you hang up the phone. So if you're on the phone with someone and you're going to hang up, you just say 失礼します and you hang up. That's pretty much what you say to almost anyone that you don't know when you're on the phone with them and you're hanging up. 失礼します. I'll say that later. All right, any questions so far? There's the kanji from Come to Japan Dan. お先に失礼します. Need a drink of water. So yeah. Anyway, how's everyone doing today? I know a lot of you are already studying Japanese, so this may be quite new for you, but from next week, we'll be moving on to, what is the first actual lesson in this book? Let me take a look. I forget. New friends, so introductions and stuff like that. yeah, and then there will finally be some grammar thrown in there, and I think it'll be fun. That'll be next week. So anyway, thanks in Japanese. Everyone knows this one, I think. It's arigato. Arigato is just thanks. It's like a, informal. Arigato. Thanks. I forgot my Japanese, says Danielle. Well, then this will be perfect. I hope. Arigato. If you add gozaimasu, which is like the polite word, it sort of means to like exist. Gozaimasu. Gozaru is to be almost. Gozaimasu is the polite conjugation of that. So you add it to certain words to make them more polite, like thank you. So arigato gozaimasu. Thank you in advance for covering the Genki series. All I know is I hate chapter 3, verb conjugation. Yes, that's what sort of encouraged me to do this, that chapter. Because I looked at that chapter and I said, oh my God, I don't even know what they're trying to say. And I just, like, the order that they introduce conjugation in is just so counterintuitive that I figured I could do a little better, which is sad because it's made by a major company in Japan. But that's okay. We'll learn all that together. So, arigatou gozaimasu is the more polite thank you. But even I use it sometimes with people I know. It's just sort of a feeling thing. In the beginning, when you're first learning, if it's a little hard to remember gozaimasu, you can just say arigato, and it'll be fine. Nobody will think you're rude if you don't add gozaimasu. One of the most common words in Japanese, without a doubt, the one you will use the most for your entire life if you live here, is sumimasen. That can mean, yes, Countryside Limbo says, has way too many uses in Japanese. Oh my goodness. Don't steal my idea, anyone. Well, you can. I was going to make a video, like a comedy video of just called The Only Word You Need in Japanese. And basically, it was just going to show all the situations you can use sumimasen in. And I still might make it, but now you know, so maybe it won't be as fun. But yeah, most people don't actually say the whole word. Most people do not say sumimasen. They say suimasen. So it's sort of like you take the mi and change it to an e, and you just say suimasen. Like, someone mentioned this in a comment on my videos, and I was like, yeah, you're right. Nobody ever says sumimasen. Literally everyone will say suimasen. So they don't even say suimasen. It's just suimasen. So it's like S-I-masen. So yeah, that makes it way easier to remember. Just suimasen, suimasen, suimasen. Yeah, for everything. So it can mean I'm sorry, it can mean excuse me, it can mean like suimasen sound-wise. Yes, just like that. Exactly. There's actually no character in Japanese to just say si, like si. So that's the closest you can get with hiragana to what it actually sounds like. And some people will actually say that suimasen when they're trying to be a little polite or something. Yes. So once again, it's I'm sorry, it's excuse me, it's getting the attention of a waiter, it's when you bump into somebody, it's when you need to get anyone's attention, you have a question, or you feel really bad. Like, there's also, you probably know gomen or gomen nasai. And those are also I'm sorry. But like, if you're really sorry and you feel like you really screwed up, you're going to get down on your knees and bow and say, sumimasen deshita. Sumimasen deshita. Deshita is the past formal thing you add at the end of the conjugation. So, sumimasen deshita. What is the actual verb for this, I wonder? It's just a set phrase now. But, I mean, it probably comes from sumu? Doukana? I don't know. We're not going to get into that today. But anyway, sumimasen. But if you were to use sumimasen, would you be understood? Absolutely. You would absolutely be understood. If you said sumimasen, without a doubt. It's just that almost nobody says it because it's much easier to just say suimasen, and everyone does. There may be places in Japan where people say it like that more often, but personally, I don't know if I've ever heard a Japanese person say it, but they would absolutely understand it. Ie, if someone says gomen nasai or sumimasen to you, you can respond with iie, as in like it's nothing, no problem. I don't. No, I guess I do use it quite a bit. Iie. Yeah. Iie. There's other ones too, like which I won't go over today, but like tondemonai or yeah, iie is probably the one I use the most, I guess. So yeah, if someone says I'm sorry or excuse me, just iie, no problem. It also means like a flat no, like do you want to do something? Iie. Most people will use something else like yeah, like Dan said. Yeah. Yeah is more common with your friends. You want to go eat ramen? Yeah. Ikitakunai. I don't want to go. Or just that's another one. I have a really cute little student. He's about this big, but he's 4 years old. I'm not convinced he's actually 4 years old. I think they lied to get him into my class. But just you have to sort of decipher his which is yes, or his which is no. It's just like they're so close together, but that's the only way he says yes or no. It's really hard to discern at first, but you get used to it. It's pretty funny. But even adults will say or I don't. Did you get those? Anyway, those would only be for the no response. It wouldn't be for it's nothing, I don't think. Sumimasen. I guess I would use that. I don't know. Those sounds are a little hard. We'll have to go over those in another lesson. Anyway, moving on. If there's any questions, please shoot them at me. These are some more fun ones. I'm going to need a sip of something for this. So, when you leave the house in Japan, I think no matter what, people will say this. And it is ittekimasu. Ittekimasu. It means, it's translated literally as go, come back. Like the literally translated, it's that. Without the no grammar, it's just go, come back. That's what it means. Ittekimasu. But it's just a set phrase that you say when you leave the house. Like that's all. It's like I'm going, I'll be back, see you later, something like that. But there's no actual good translation for it. It's just what you say when you leave the house. And what everyone will always respond is ittarashai. Ittarashai, and that itte is the te conjugation, once again, of to go, iku. So it's itte rashai. And that rashai is a very polite, like, do it, I guess? Like, irashaimase is like, welcome into the store, please come into the store or whatever. So it's like a very, very formal, please do something, basically. So please go. It's just a see you later. And it's just the set phrase you say after someone else says, ittekimasu. Itterashai. Ittekuru ne. Yeah, you can do, like, a lot of families, and it's actually regional. Like, it can be regional. Like, some people in certain places in Japan will say ittekuru ne or ittemairimasu, which is a little bit more formal, I guess. Ato, also like when we'll cover this in a minute. Yeah, but anyway, ittekimasu, itterashai. You can be less formal and say ittekuru, which is just I'll go and come. It's the same meaning. Yeah, fun. So try saying that at home. Your parents won't have any, or your family, or whoever you live with, or your cats, or whatever. They won't know what you're talking about, but that's fine. Itteku? Is that what they say in Fukuoka then? Itteku? Itteku. Ah, itteku. Yeah, I think I've said that before. Itteku. Maybe not. Ittekuru ne. Ittekuru. Itteku. Some people will say that. All right, so when you come back to the house, you can't come in silently. You left with all that pomp and never mind. You left with all that ittekimasu and stuff. You come back with a phrase too. And this is tadaima, which is I'm back. The literal translation for tadaima is now. Yep. Tadaima means now. Just the word now. Why? I have no idea, but it's a set phrase for when you return home. You just say now. So, and the response to that is okaeri, which is welcome back, or it just means you're home. I guess, yeah, you're home. Okaeri, welcome home. And the You see nasai come back in again, which is once again the do it. So okaeri nasai, so come back home. Welcome back home, basically. Okaeri nasai, just now. Yeah, like right now, right? Like, yeah, I guess it's more than just now. It's right now, this moment. Some people, depending on where you're from, and I'm not sure if this is a Nagano thing or somewhere else, but some people will say ittekita, ittekimashita. And I thought that was just like itte mairimasu or itte mairimashita, which is a very polite tadaima, basically. You might say it at work after you go somewhere for work, itte mairimashita. But in some places in Japan, I thought this was just everywhere, but apparently it's regional. It's ittekimashita. So I went and I came back. So it's just a different conjugation of ittekimasu, ittekimashita. I don't know if anyone knows if that's a Nagano thing or somewhere else, but apparently it's regional. But I use it at work a lot after like field trips and stuff. Ittekimashita, and nobody's ever said anything about it. So I suspect it might be a thing around here. And the response to that would just be okaeri or okaeri nasai. Yeah. These are a couple other fun ones that don't really have any good translations in Japanese. In my kindergarten, I'm a homeroom teacher for an immersion class. So we do all these rituals and whatnot that Japanese people do day to day. Like say these words before they eat and after they eat. But we have a really hard time, me and the other teacher, deciding what to say. Because there's nothing like this in English. I mean, I guess you could say it's like a prayer, but it's just a single word. So we end up just saying, before we eat, let's eat, with our hands together. And what they actually say in Japanese is itadakimasu. Itadakimasu. So, yeah, it's just what you say before you eat. It's like, thank you for this food, I guess. It could also be like a prayer or something for thank you for this food. But we just say, let's eat. Itadakimasu. And some people are really not strict, but like they always say it. Some people don't, I guess, but like most people, without fail, before they eat anything, it will say itadakimasu, which is just like I receive. We say let's eat in my classes too. Yeah. Let's eat. That's the closest you can get. But it just means like, I think the literal translation is like I receive in like a formal sense. Yeah. So itadakimasu. You can also say that when like someone gives you something and you're not actually eating it yet, but like they give you omiyage, like gifts from when they were traveling. That's food. Oh, itadakimasu. Even maybe before you eat it. Anyway, after you eat something, you say gochiso sama, and you can add to make it more polite, deshita, which is just the past tense. And this translates literally to it was a feast. And the deshita is, of course, the past tense was. So you can cut that off if it's people you know or you're just alone. Gochiso sama. In classes, in kindergarten, they say gochiso sama deshita. They'll actually when everyone's finished eating, the kids who are in charge for that day, like that have duty, will go into the front of the class. They put their hands together and they say, gochiso sama deshita. It was a feast, or thank you for the food, or whatever. But most people will say that after they eat. You will also say gochiso sama deshita when you are leaving a restaurant. Like pretty much any restaurant. As you're leaving, you'll like say to the cook or basically anyone you can see that works there, gochiso sama deshita, before you leave the restaurant. I have no idea what to say in English, so we do not do this in my class here in Japan. But damn, do you do anything for gochiso sama deshita? I'll wait and see if he comments anything on that. How about, do you guys have any like rituals or anything before or after you eat? Even if you live in America? I know my family in America, growing up, they always said grace before we ate. We say both. What do you say for gochiso sama deshita? 何ですか?
You already skipped me.
Okay,
So you don't usually have grace
Yuki asked if we usually have grace after the meal in America. No, we do not. Generally, you just finish eating. Maybe you say, oh, that was delicious. Gochisousama deshita. Okay, so you just say it in Japanese. Fair enough. Thank you for lunch. I guess that could work. Yeah, we could try saying that too. Anyway, that just brought me to something. Often in America, like when we finish eating, we might say, oh, that was delicious, like when we finish. But in Japan, while you're eating, you'll say it's delicious about 15 times while you're eating, including the first bite before you've even really chewed on it. Just, whoa, oishii, every couple minutes. It cracks me up. And a lot of people in Japan, if you don't do it, they think you don't like it. This happens a lot to me. Like, because I'm just so used to waiting until I'm finished eating to be like, wow, that was great. And just leaning back and feeling good. But here, you got to be, oishii, wa, umai, all that the whole time you're eating. It can be a little tiring. I usually say, looks great. And then, thanks for cooking. Oh, that's a good one. Thanks for cooking. Nice. All right. So we're getting to the end. These are very important ones. If you ever meet a Japanese person, and they don't speak English, obviously, or you just want to introduce yourself in Japanese, if your family is religious, you'll say grace or a prayer before eating. Yep, generally, but not after. After, most people don't have too many traditions, I feel like, in America. Yeah. So these are extremely important. When you first meet when you first meet someone, you'll generally say, hajimemashite. Hajimemashite. So I might say my name, Andy desu, hajimemashite. Or no, I'd say hajimemashite first. Hajimemashite, Andy desu. So a little bit slower. Hajimemashite. Hajimemashite. It's just nice to meet you. And then this is this one in the beginning, man. When I first started learning Japanese, I had such a hard time remembering this one. It took a long time for me to be able to get the whole thing out. But it is yoroshiku onegai shimasu. Yoroshiku onegai shimasu. I still have a hard time saying it. Most words aren't too difficult, but for some reason, just the ku to the o, it's just so hard to get out. Yoroshiku onegai shimasu. I can never change from u to o fast enough. But anyway, the literal translation is, please be good to me. Don't be a jerk. But it's just a set phrase that you say after you meet someone or when you want someone to do something for you. It's just like, I don't know. It's a set phrase. Yeah. It's like a greeting. It's a regards or whatever. Yeah. Yoroshiku onegai shimasu. Thanks, Dan, for the kanji in there. Yoroshiku onegai itashimasu. Okay. Super formal. Yoroshiku onegai itashimasu. Yoroshiku onegai shimasu. I know by heart only because my favorite Japanese group always uses it in their introductions before stage performances. Okay. That's a good way to learn it. I mean, anything works. Songs are great for learning this kind of stuff. Yoroshiku onegai itashimasu is super formal. You don't need to learn it yet, but you can. It's going to be used in like work situations when you're writing like requests. So at the end of a request, yoroshiku onegai itashimasu, I want you to do something for me at work. And yeah, it's used after you meet someone. Hajimemashite, Andy desu. Yoroshiku onegai shimasu. Just means please be good to me or whatever. Yeah. So that is pretty much all that the introduction to Genki 1 covers. That's it. That's the first little lesson thing. And then lesson 1 will cover in more detail other types of introductions and whatnot. So yeah, I'll be covering all of those next week. One second. Yuki has a question.
You don't have
Otsukare-sama deshita. Yeah. It's a little bit difficult, but I guess I could cover it quick. Dan, can you write this one in chat when I say it? One of the things that you will say before you leave work, or that you might just say to someone who's working hard that you see on, for example, climbing a mountain or something, or when they finish doing something, some kind of work, you say, Otsukare-sama deshita. お疲れ様でした. So I might even say that at the end of a lesson that you've taken. It just means the literal translation is you are tired. Like literally, you are tired person. Like that's your name. Your name is tired. Is the literal translation of that. Otsukare is tired, but very polite. And then sama is like, you put at the end of a very polite name. So, otsukare sama, Mr. Tired deshita. You were Mr. Tired. Yeah, that's a literal translation. But it's just another one of those set phrases that you say, which can be like, oh, you've worked really hard, or it's acknowledging someone's hard work. And it can also be, it's time for me to go home, and stuff like that. So it's goodbye. お疲れ様でした. So even like, I used to go snowboarding a lot with some really good snowboarders. And at the end of snowboarding, everyone would always say, お疲れさん. So like, お疲れ様, less polite, you could say, お疲れさん. Some people even say, お疲れちゃん, which is like super informal, and I don't say it, but you can. お疲れさん, お疲れちゃん. You don't need the でした. お疲れ様. At work, also, every single time you pass someone in the hallway, without fail, お疲れ様です. お疲れっす. I've shortened it down more and more and more and more until now when I pass people in the hallway, I just say, お疲れっす. Like, I can't even write that out. お疲れっす. And it's most male coworkers pretty much shortened it down to that. お疲れっす. You don't even say, お疲れ様です, because you say it so many times in a day. You are tired. You are tired. Sometimes I'll respond with like, だから帰ります, which is, she's laughing. Yep, I am tired, so I'm going home. And that always gets a laugh. Not always, but sometimes. Japanese joke. So yeah. Everyone that was here for the lesson, thank you for being here. お疲れ様でした. And next week, we will be covering some more some more introductions, self-introductions. Maybe we can all do a self-introduction. And there's some grammar in there too. So I'll be trying to simplify that down for everyone. Yeah. So, question time or just chat. If anyone has anything they want to talk about tonight, anytime. A1 Guitars and Gaming, anytime, Courtney. And Countryside Limbo, thanks for being here. If you weren't here, these lessons would not be nearly as fun. Everyone being here watching is what makes streaming so great, and making videos in general. Speaking of videos, Dan and I have a collab coming out very soon, so please look forward to that. It's in the early stages of editing, but it will be out soon. So, yeah, please subscribe if you haven't. Like this stream. I think you can do that, right? You can hit like. Please do if you liked it. Share it. Follow me on Twitter. That's where I do most of my daily, interaction. Also, I have a Discord. There's a link to the Discord down there. Right now, it's just me, Dan, and Courtney. So Dan, Courtney, and I. There's the grammar. Join us in there. Yeah. So please do. And you can ask questions about Japanese. You can chat in Japanese, share music, share videos, whatever you want. Discord can be a lot of fun. So, yeah. Anyway. Yes, it is going to be fun. It was really fun to film. And it's going to be a lot of work to edit. But I've already started. So it should go pretty smooth. And it should be a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoy it, the video with Dan. So subscribe to him too. Because part 2 of that will be on his channel. So that's exciting. 12 people. Wow. You guys are awesome. Thank you. So anyway, if nobody has any other questions tonight, also, wait, before you go, next week I'm streaming the results of the giveaway for snacks. So if you haven't watched that video yet, do that and comment which one of those snacks, which one that you want in the comments. That's all you have to do. You don't have to like, you don't have to subscribe. I found out that that's against YouTube's policy. So I say it in the video, but you don't need to. You just need to comment. And I will be choosing the winner live. Just so just for, what's the word for that? Transparency. So I'll be numbering out everyone, and then I'm going to use a random number generator, and that will be the person that wins it. And then I will be messaging them on, well, wherever I have contact with them to get their address, and we'll be sending them out whichever thing they decided on. So same time as this stream. Yes, I think that will be the beginning of this stream. And yeah, and then we'll just jump into the lesson. So it might be a long one. Maybe I'll do it the day before. I don't know. I'll decide, and I'll let everyone know within the next day or two when that stream will be. Yeah. This is the vide. This is the vide. Awesome. Ah, wow. Sweet. Anyway, yes. So, that's happening next week. Please tune in for that. So thank you, everyone. I tried posting this link. Links. Yeah, links. Apparently only the stream runner or mods, I guess they call them on here. Mods can post links. I should make some of you guys mods for my chat if you wanted that. To the snack video. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's probably over in like the sidebar over there. I hope that my streams are suggesting my own videos. That would be awesome. If not, it's the first video on my channel, so go check that out, and maybe I'll send you some snacks. All right. Well, I've been up for the past 17 hours, so I think it's time for me to get some rest. All you guys over in America, have an awesome day. I think it's Sunday for you, so that's great. You would mod anytime, Dan. That's great. You will be my first mod. Courtney's basically helping me mod Discord. Once again, join us on Discord, guys. She's posting my links and stuff. Thank you so much for that help. I always forget to do that, and yeah, it's so helpful when you guys help with that kind of stuff. So I really appreciate it. Yeah, so I'll have to figure that out, how all this mod stuff works. Good night, Danielle. Sweet, Courtney's down to mod too. I've got mods. You guys are the best. All right. Have a great day. Have a great night. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you next time. All right, signing off. Bye-bye.